Hi, Elaine Enlightening here at taplightUnlimited.com. Today we're on video blog number 63 and we're on lesson 52 in A Course in Miracles. This is another review lesson from the beginning of the course, and the five topics for today's review are: I am upset because I see what is not there. I see only the past. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I see nothing as it is now. My thoughts do not mean anything. Now you will need to get the lesson out to read all the little the blurb about each one. There's a short review for each one. So I'm just going to give an illustration today as an example, and it's just a pretty simple illustration about how something in our past affects the way we live our lives today. Now, we wouldn't even know what this was called if it weren't for having been told in the past what it meant. So that's why it doesn't mean anything. It only has the meaning we've given it. And then each person has their own way of looking at things. So I mean, my sister and brother and I have totally different perspectives, I'm sure, on some of the same events that happened, or on our perceptions of how we were raised. So I'm going to use the glass here, this lovely goblet, as an example. Okay, so this occurred to me like yesterday. What happened was, when I was growing up, I washed a lot of dishes and broke a lot of glass dishes. And somehow this, I associated it as a very negative thing. Now, I enjoy washing dishes, but what I don't like is breaking things. Okay, so I associated that with some kind of a negative feeling. I didn't like seeing my mom be sad. Okay, so I'm a very sensitive person, sensitive child. I didn't want to, I just didn't want to see anybody sad. So I associated this as a very negative thing. So when I had my children, I made sure I didn't use glass every day. We had other type of things that weren't breakable. And now, after 3 girls are married, I've got grandchildren, and now my son is 17. So, you know, it's not like I've got little kids around anyway. But I just realized one day that I was not drinking out of glass, which has always been my favorite thing to drink out of. But I still wasn't drinking out of glass because of fear of breaking it. And I realized that it didn't have anything to do with economics. I mean, you can get these at the Dollar Tree, so it's not that. And I realized as I tuned into what was going on, I realized I associated with this negative feeling, and it comes from this past idea. And I felt like that was a very, I just didn't want to be responsible for breaking them. And I also didn't like it if someone else broke them. And I realized that it was time for me to let go of this past fear. I mean, it was really a fear. It may sound silly to call it a fear, but we've got to get honest with ourselves about this stuff. And I realized I was denying myself the joy of drinking out of glass. I much prefer glass. Now, I will say that I did have some glasses that I purchased over the last few years that are the heavy glass. I didn't like drinking out of them, but real thick. Why? Because I was afraid to get broke. And I didn't, so I realized that I was denying myself still. So I just went out and got me some pretty goblets. And I'm using them for my shakes every day and my smoothies. And I let my 7-year-old granddaughter have her shake out of it the other day. My 11-year-old granddaughter. I mean, they really enjoyed it. And I just had let go of this fear of, I mean, I can't upset my mom about it. And I'm the one that's going to buy them. And I realized that if I let go of the fear, that they don't need to break at all. And honestly, it was funny because the other day, and I didn't just buy these yesterday, but just this, the idea of how this fit with the review hit me yesterday. And so I decided to share that in my video blog. But I bought these within the last month. Actually, I've had this style right here for about a week. And so basically, so when our mind is preoccupied with past thoughts and we can tune into whether it's some fear or not, we can let go of the fear and not let it control us anymore. Well, so I actually did knock one of these into the sink, and I hit the Vitamix, and the sink is stainless steel, and I just heard clink, 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 and I thought, oh, that's going to be in a million pieces, and I wasn't upset, but it was whole. It did not break, and these are delicate, and it's happened to me now. That was the worst time that I've knocked them over on the marble countertop, at least 3 times, because they're clear, and I didn't really see it really well, and I bumped them. And I haven't broke one yet, and I'm not trying to put out there anything except that it is possible to have glass, enjoy it, and for it not to be breaking, because all the limits that we set are on ourselves, and whenever we put limits out into the world, they're coming back to us. And so it was just an interesting example to me about how I can change the way I look at glass, and I don't have to worry about it, and I can actually enjoy drinking out of glass and something lovely every day. And I just enjoy stemware. I mean, this is a wine glass, but I really enjoy the stem, so that's why I use it. And so anyway, that's my example today of how we can move past the past. It doesn't have to hold on to us anymore, but we've got to get honest with ourselves about how we're allowing it to control us, okay? And then we can move forward. And so that's it for today. I hope you will get out lesson 52 and review these. These are very important foundation to the process of undoing the ego, the grip that it has in our lives. And the only reason it has a grip is because we've given it the power. And when we start recognizing our ability to be powerful, then we want to let go of even the simple things like this. This was a simple little example, but it's very relative, because actually you can take this and it's symbolism for a lot of things. If I see things in this as being very delicate, or seeing myself as able to break it and fearful of that, I'm actually associating that fear with my own weakness. And believe it or not, there's a connection. So can't get into any deeper than that in this video blog, but you sure can in private coaching. So you can go to taplightunlimited.com/coaching and sign up for coaching there and private sessions with Skype. And in that way, we can really get into this type of thing, and you get aware. Once you get that kind of awareness going, you can make great big shifts in your life, okay? So EFT is very powerful that way. Thank you for joining me today. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.